Hey, Gio, you want the jumper? I do.
What's up, guys? I have this 2013 G37 7-speed automatic. It has engine cold air intakes, headers, single exit exhaust. It is on E85, 600 cc injectors from UPT, and it came in for a cam install, and they finished it a couple days ago, and now I have time to get to this car, so I'm gonna go ahead and tune it, and once it's done, I'll let the customer know that the car is ready. I'll give him all the info, and he can pick it up whenever he has a chance. So this car was previously tuned by me. Last time I believe it made 300 wheel horsepower, slightly on the low side for being on the 85. I don't know, it could have been something maybe like spark plugs or something. I'm gonna find out to see if they changed them recently, and we'll see how much more it makes. So if with cams it still makes low numbers, and obviously something is wrong somewhere with the motor. The number jumps up dramatically, literally about 20 wheel, 25, 30, then now the issue is fixed. It could be something simple. I'm not gonna go into detail, but yeah, even on our dyno that reads a little low, so the only difference today is that it has cams now, aftermarket cams. So even with E85, it should have definitely made over 300 on our dyno. So we're gonna see what it does now. Hopefully everything's good, and maybe they've done a little more maintenance on it. The other thing is, normally this happens actually pretty often. Some of you will somehow tune almost on the same day you tuned last year. So I tuned this car last year, no problems, zero problems, very clean car, and the difference is he tuned it last year November 11th, and today is the 17th. So this happens a lot. Some of you have happened to retune on the same day, the exact same date that you tuned last year. It's pretty crazy, and then we don't realize it until you come in, and I check the file and I'm like, hey, this is the same day that you came in last year. And yeah, it's pretty crazy sometimes. And some of you, honestly, I tune your car like 5 times in 1 year, because you just keep adding parts to it. You'll come in with like just some bare minimum, and then you'll add one more thing, you add another thing, but yeah, thank you guys for coming to me. Alright, so far it's still on the low side for cams, but that's just my second adjustment for the cams. So I'm gonna look at the log and see what's going on in detail. But the good thing is it's already making about almost another 15 wheel horsepower. So it's a good sign so far, very good sign. But let's see if it'll at least go up to where it should be with cams. And really good news, it jumped from that last number, which was 309 I believe, to 319 wheel with my third adjustment. So whatever issue the car was having before is no longer there. So this is good news. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So I believe there's still room for more. It's for having cams on this dyno, that number is still slightly low. I'm not done with the tune. I'm gonna go in and see what else I can do, but I know that it's not done. But that's really good news. It's a huge difference. Yeah, we're basically at 20 wheel horsepower gains already from last time. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, final number 327 wheel horsepower, 271 torque, 327. So Let's talk about the numbers at our shop here. So 327 wheel here does fall under the VHR E85 cam territory for horsepower numbers on our dyno. Well, that's still on the lower side, but just by a little bit. Normally they'll make about, let's just say 330, 331, 332, 333, 334, around that area, 329. So the car did gain 27 wheel horsepower compared to last time. That's a lot of horsepower gain, and the torque as well. I'm gonna try and get the torque number for you guys. I believe it was 260 wheel torque. I believe it was in the 260s. So we gained about 10, anywhere from 8 to 10 torque to the wheels, but 27 wheel horsepower. That's a lot for NA. That's a big jump for NA. So almost at 330. Could be, you know, just a couple numbers off from where it should be. This is still one of the lower ones that I tuned on cams. Actually, no, it's not. Well, it depends on the brand of the cams, but this one here for this specific cam, yeah, it's on the lower side just by a little bit. So that could be a lot of variables in here. Maybe just do a little more maintenance and might just go up to 330. But obviously, whatever issue I had before is now fixed. And as you can see, every motor is different, and at least it's up there now where it should be, in that range. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him know that his car is ready, and he can come pay and pick it up. All right, so I let the owner know that his G37 is done with the cams, and this is another one. They just dropped it off, so they're gonna start on Monday or Tuesday to do the cams. And then when this one's done, anywhere in 2 to 5 business days, I'll tune it whenever I get a chance to do it. This guy already messaged me before he even dropped it off. What's up, guys? I have the 2013 7-speed G37 sedan, baseline 272 wheel horsepower, has Takeda cold air intakes, and it has stock injector, so it's on 91, and it still has the factory exhaust system on here. Alright, first adjustments. It is now at 274, 2 wheel horsepower, gain peak. Amazing. The new line is a green one. You can see the mid-range. We got some power there, and we got some fixing to do up top, as long as the motor is still in good condition, which we will see. Alright, so looks like this car just really needed a tune. New line is the orange one. We are at 288. So now I have 16 wheel horsepower peak by my second adjustments. Oh, and then the torque's right there. So let's see what else we could do. Alright, this one is done. Final number 293. Gain 21 wheel horsepower. Yellow. So this guy has all these tags on there, and he said that anyone can tag on there if they want. 21 wheel horsepower NA, that's a lot. Very nice. I'm gonna finish up here and explain everything to the owner, and that's it for this one. And happy Thanksgiving, guys. And this guy, he didn't know, but I gave him a great offer on the Crackle map basis, almost like 70-80% off. He wasn't expecting that, so I was like, it's only good for today. I only told him when he came, once he came here, so he wasn't expecting that, and he took it, so good. All right, the day after Thanksgiving, George is packaging stuff for you guys that bought stuff yesterday or today, and then I'm pretty sure that's the car I'm gonna tune in about an hour. I seen them pull up with another car with the truck, and they were checking stuff out. I don't know what they were doing, and they left probably to go eat or do something in the meantime, because they came about actually an hour and a half early, which is fine. He didn't come in and tell me anything, but I'm assuming because that's the same color of his car, and that's the same type of car that I'm gonna tune in about an hour, so I'm pretty sure that's him. And then after that, I have another one, and then I didn't schedule any more today because it's the day after Thanksgiving and I just want to go home early. It's 12 right now, so his appointment is at 1, the other appointment is at 3, and then that's it. What's up, guys? I have this 05 G35 automatic. So it is a non-rev up, a regular DE, horrible baseline, 223 wheel horsepower. This car has a lot of mods on it. It's basically putting down stock wheel horsepower. And he let me know that his friend with the exact same car, I believe same year, automatic as well, bone stock, beats him. Which this makes sense because this number is very, very low for the mods he has. So we're gonna see if something's wrong with the motor or it just needed a tune. All right, looks like most likely just needed a tune. First adjustments is the green line. You can see the big gap. So for those of you that don't know, obviously you don't do this, that gap is a lot in between the red and the green. It already gained 12.5 wheel horsepower, and then there's the torque. All right, so that one, his motor is not in the best shape. It did gain more power, but nowhere near where it should be. He's still very happy because it feels better. I don't know if you guys watch my YouTube videos, the owner of the car, but he's pretty happy. And then also he's happy about the crackle map, pops pretty loud. So yeah, waiting on the next one, and that's it for this one. George is working on this blue Z. I don't know what he's doing. I barely just saw him go in there. And then this blue car right here, light blue, is a Q50. Came in for some install, and I'm gonna tune that one today as well. And this guy here comes in, I believe, for regular maintenance and stuff. Today I believe just it's leaking coolant, but it seems like they might have found the problem and it's just the radiator cap. I think that's what I overheard them saying. And then that yellow Z inside, the one from my other videos from Arizona, the motor was built by somebody else. And when I turned it on, it says making a bunch of noises. It sounds like it has rod knock. So they still need to look at it more, but that motor, it's still in the vehicle right now, and they found some stuff. The clearances on the cams were way off, but it turns out the caps on top of the cams, if you don't know what that is, it's the ones that hold the cams down. You bolt it down with two bolts on each cap. Those were all loose, all of them. So, you know, imagine when I imagine the person who built it did tell him, oh well, the car should be very noisy, it's normal. Well, no, I'm you know, I tune these cars all the time, and I know I tune them, you know, stock builds, mild builds, fully built. I know what it's supposed to sound like, and I know what it sounds like when something's wrong. Sure enough, you know, I told them I don't want to tune the car like that, like something is obviously wrong. So this is a case here of, let's just say, you know, a tuner didn't know what they don't have the experience, and they believe the builder, and they start tuning it, and let's just say the cam snaps. Like a tuner cannot snap a cam like that. So, but what is the, you know, the builder probably gonna tell the customer? Oh, it was the tuner, you know. Oh, I built it right, you know, I turned it on and it runs. Well, of course, when you're actually tuning it in high RPMs and taking it to high RPMs, putting actual load on it where the engine's actually making power, it's, you know, the cam's just gonna break. Everything's gonna break, mess up, you know. And that's if nothing falls inside the motor. So it's you're gonna like try and figure out how it blew, and you're gonna be blaming each other. The tuner's gonna be blaming the builder, obviously, and the builder's gonna be blaming the tuner, when obviously it was not the tuner's fault. The tuner cannot really break a cam like that. In a way, it's hard to explain. It's extremely rare. It's like the valve will hit the piston if a tuner messes up, in a way, and it won't really snap the cams like that. So obviously this is a builder thing. So I have no idea who built it. I don't know if you watch my videos or not, but all of the caps were loose, all the bolts were loose. So they're gonna they have to redo the clearances. So now they have to, the guy working on it has to redo the whole complete job again, tying everything down correctly and recheck the clearances again, because obviously they're not going to be accurate readings the first time. So far he's been checking them and they're still way off, so he has to finish checking all of them and then fix the clearance and turn on the car and see if the noise went down. You know, some of the noise, yes, the noises, some of them, when you build them and you have cams like that, the motors will be a little bit noisy, but not like this one. This literally just sounded like it had raw knock as soon as I turned it on. So I'm hoping at least like 90% of the noise goes away, or all of it. You know, it's just some normal cam noise. But I'm really hoping that's what it is. But as you can see, like, you know, you're setting somebody up for failure because you didn't install the parts correctly. So parts can go back on, doesn't mean you did it right, or you did it right, you forgot to do something. You know, everyone makes mistakes, but obviously you know, the car got built in Arizona, the motor got built in Arizona, so it's not like the guy's gonna come down and start checking it out. You know, it's a long drive for him. Maybe if the guy was here, whoever built it, maybe if he was here, you know, maybe he might offer to look at it, and then maybe he would have caught the problem, you know. So at this point we don't know how he would have handled it because he's not here, so it's not much he could do at that point. But yeah, these are some of the things that just happen, and I try to catch things before they happen. So, you know, I know you guys see stuff like on forums or Facebook, and it could have nothing to do with VQs, or it could maybe, you know, someone in the East Coast or something is tuning a car, something happens, and you guys go on Facebook and you put that other tuner on blast, you know. And it's also like when you're building, like someone built the motor and then something happened, and it's like you go back and forth. I see the comments like, you guys are blaming the person who tuned it, you guys are blaming the builder. You know, this is what I said earlier. You just go back and forth, like you don't know who did it. You actually have to inspect it. You actually have to take everything apart to try and figure out what happened if you're trying to blame somebody. So in this case, if, you know, let's just say I didn't know anything and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, the builder said that, just go ahead and tune it because the noise is completely normal, even though it just sounds like it's gonna blow up already just idling, then honestly probably would have damaged the motor completely in the first pull. As soon as it has load and taking it to high RPM, the bolts were completely loose, all of them. So obviously the only thing that makes sense is the person who put that together, or I don't know if he had a helper or something. If he did, he should have double checked it anyways. They just forgot to tighten the bolts on the cams for the caps, and that's it. So something that simple can cause catastrophic failure. But yeah, just so you guys know, these are things that happen. You know, people just make mistakes, is normal. This one would have been a pretty big mistake, of course. So I don't know how long they had the car on over there. I don't know if they revved it over there. At this point, you know, we're just trying to save the guy money. Hopefully he doesn't have to build the other stuff, the other motor. So he'll save a ton of money if we could just use the same motor, and hopefully everything else is good. Alright guys, this is the highest HR on our dyno ever. They've never come close to this number here. I don't know if you guys can hear the noise, but that one is normal on this one. But when it came in, it was very, very horrible. So I got some cleanup to do, so it's gonna be in the 350s. But yeah, this one's finally done. We are at 362. Final numbers. All right, and there he goes. Very, very happy. Test drove it a few times. He's gonna go put it on the trailer, go back home. He did a pull right here. He's got a long way home. I'm just glad that the guys here, well, that was mainly Jesse, figured out the problem on his car, which I know in the other clips I already explained it. You know, stuff was just loose. You know, it was built somewhere else in his near his hometown, and you know, people just make mistakes. You know, it happens, it's normal. This was like simple mistakes, but it could have been very, very dangerous. Of course, the motor is gonna blow. You know, like I said in the other clips, you never know. Maybe he was just tired. Someone was bugging him, you know, while he was trying to build a motor. That's why you don't bug people when they're working. You know, it doesn't matter if they do it all the time or whatever. It's like, especially things like this that are very, very important. You know, but in this case, I don't know. I don't know who the person is. I don't know what happened, but I'm glad that they found it here and they were able to fix things. And there were no problems here. So the rest is on him to maintain the car. And hopefully everything else was put back together, because they did not take the motor apart here completely. So it survived the dyno, so that's a good sign. Survived the test driving, and that's pretty much it.
Stop. That steering is upside down.
Okay, I'll take it home.
Right there.
Oh!
Let's go.